written by George Purdy, local merchant, to our Committee of Safety here in Isle of Wight County. Now, right as around the time of the American Revolution, the local communities were establishing what they refer to as committees of safety. After the Declaration of Independence, where the colonies separated themselves from British rule, there was a vacuum in government, daily government, state government. So these committee of safeties made sure laws were followed, laws were passed, taxes were collected. At one point, the Committee of Safety appointed members of the group to go out and buy gunpowder for the local Isle of Wight County militia. And there wasn't much gunpowder to be found in Isle of Wight County. Now, George Purdy himself was Scottish. He came over from Scotland as a factor for Scottish Mercantile Company. And that means he would represent the company, open a shop here in Smithfield, sell goods, and then the profits would go back to Scotland. So George Purdy was kind of torn during the American Revolution. Does he join the revolutionaries and the residents here in Smithfield who want to separate from the crown in England? Or does he stay with the Scottish factors who were actually ruled by the British government? So it became a kind of a difficult time for George Purdy. When he was accused of price gouging and not selling gunpowder to the Committee of Safety, the Committee of Safety required him to come speak against these charges. But his wife, Mary Robinson Purdy, who was a local person, a local lady, heard that he might be tarred and feathered if he was to show up here to the courthouse. Well, obviously George Purdy did not want to go to the courthouse to answer to these charges, so he wrote a letter stating that he was a resident here in Smithfield for many years. His family lived here, he owned property here, he had a business here, and why would he be loyal to the crown? He also said that he was willing to sell things like gunpowder to the Committee of Safety and Isle of Wight militia, but he just didn't have a lot of gunpowder on hand. So after he sent the letter, he never showed up to the courthouse, and he and his family left to live in Williamsburg under Lord Dunmore, the governor at the time, and eventually returned to Smithfield after the Revolutionary War was over. But he was brought back into the fold, owned much property, had grandchildren, and the portrait that is of him hangs in one of his great-great-granddaughter's houses. So George Purdy survived the Revolution, but it was an interesting time for those who had loyalties to the crown. Their income came from the crown, and they also had loyalties to the American government.